So I have been a dolphin over the past 3 years playing Genshin Impact. Then one day, I saw Doro start over as a free-to-play. So as a bet, I created a new account, still chose Ether for immersion's sake, and set off. And boy, was I wrong about the free-to-play experience. See, I thought I would quit within a couple of weeks or so because it would feel overwhelming to grind 4 years worth of content. Quite the opposite actually. And I've been having a lot of fun. I will also share how I approached free-to-play, as well as some tips that I followed. With that being said, my name is Spade, and welcome to my little escapade. Quick disclaimer, there will be some spoilers up ahead. As soon as I spawned at the beach, I'm immediately reminded of the magic I once felt when I first started on the PS5 3 years ago, especially when this scene played. Alright, now that we have nostalgia out of the way, it's time for the nitty gritty. So I set myself a few goals. My main goal was to reach Natlan as soon as I could, without skipping any region. My short-term goals were to build a solid team and reach Inazuma and Sumeru during the banners of the respective Archons. My long-term goal is to complete everything. Yeah, that's right. That means maxing out my statues and exploring 100% of the map. So starting off in Mondstadt, or Modstadt, I think, it was pretty nice actually. Exploring with the little stamina I had, nitpicking, trying not to burn myself alive, it was cool. Alright, so a couple of things I did differently, knowing what I know now. Knowledge is power, they say. So the first thing I did differently was approaching combat through reactions. Since you could only do so much, reactions were the way to go to increase my damage output. So I slapped the M on every one of my characters. This helped me clear content more easily. Another thing that I did was to use the interactive map from HoYoLab. I collected animalculi and chests while having the tab open. I didn't even know you could mark them to know which ones you already had picked up and opened. This saved me so much time as I didn't need to save them to watch oculi route videos. I highly recommend using the interactive map for more quality of life. Once I finished Mondstadt's Archon quests, I had enough to do a 10 pull for Kazuha, cause you never know, right?
I'm Kachina.
Of course, the gacha gods didn't shine upon me that time, but it's okay, because I had the standard 5-star selector. Honestly, I picked the best time to start a free-to-play account. So I had all of them in my main, except for Kaching. So obviously, I picked Mo. Of course I'm going to pick Kaching. I used to main Razor before, and now Leching. Oh, sorry, that was a typo. Anyway, Team Electro, let's go! Totally not gonna bite me in the ass later, right? Choosing Kaching was still the best decision I made. Her skill has been very helpful in reaching higher places and conserving stamina. Especially in Liye, with all the bounties and shit. Kachina helped too, I guess.
I'm Kachina.
Before I continue to Liye, I would really appreciate it if you like this video. And subscribe to my channel to see more Honkai Star... Oh, whoops. And subscribe to my channel to see more content such as this one. Although I mostly post Honkai Star Rail, you can expect to see more Genshin videos here and there. Also catch my free-to-play journey on Twitch, as well as other gacha games. Link will be in the description below. Alright, back to the video. Liye was pretty much the same thing. Save the world, max out the most Giga Chad statue of the 7, spam ley lines, you know, the usual. I will say though, watching the animated scenes really showed me how much they've improved from this point on. So after grinding for about a week, I managed to hit AR30, now I can set off to Inazuma. And man, let me tell you, this is where my free-to-play journey really began. Now that I'm in Inazuma, it was time for me to pull for the Raiden Shogun. We go... Okay. Give me Raiden Shogun. Give me a big, like, there. Oof. Okay, nice. We got Toma. I'm glad we got Toma. I want Toma. I want the Toma too.
I'm your new buddy, Toma. As long as that's okay with you, of course.
Alright. Give me Raiden. Oof. Come on. Yes.
No salutations needed.
Yes, we got Raiden. Alright, that's good. Alright, now that we have Raiden, it was time for me to fish for the catch. This was my first time fishing. I never attempted to do this on my main account. The most annoying part about this process wasn't Paimon talking in your ear half the time,
So close, stay cool!
but when you finally catch the fish and they give you a damn fishbowl. But after 3 weeks of struggle and patience, I finally managed to R5 the catch. It honestly felt really rewarding. Now I understand why people find enjoyment in earning these things. It's a great feeling, but surely I won't have to do this again, right? Right? Another thing that I struggled with was getting Raiden's boss materials. Not only was the Thunder Manifestation immune to Electro, but bro kept teleporting everywhere, man. Like, stay still, chill. And then we got Nor. What the fuck? And then we got damn! And then we got Senora. There we go. And then we got Senora with her annoying ass DOT. I never knew how much food I needed till now. They ate so much that they made Paimon's stomach seem small. They have been a pain in the ass then, and still a pain in the ass now. But we managed. Now that we have saved the world once again, it's time to move on to Sumeru. I'm glad I managed to get there just in time for the Sub-Zero's event. Main events really hold more weight for free-to-plays, huh? Anyway, I had a ton of primos to pull for Nahida, or Nahida, whichever one. And I got her in 30 pulls. And with that, I completed my short-term goals. I wish I could show you the actual clip, but my dumbass thought I wouldn't need it anymore and deleted it to clear more storage. Alright, so here's my history instead. Getting Kuki and Singcho was a huge addition to my free-to-play account. Wish I got more copies of them, but ended up with more Junpeis. It's alright though, Sethos is pretty cool. I can't tell you how much of a difference Nahida made to my free-to-play account. Dendro reactions are so busted. Also, this is my favorite thing to do with her.
I see everything.
It helped me clear a lot of content from reactions alone. I managed to reach the Spiral Abyss and my characters weren't even that well built. I was also using a 3-star weapon. This really changed my perspective on weapons. You don't need the best to clear content. But if I'm being honest, I mainly got signature weapons on my main for aesthetic purposes. Anyways, we saved the world again as usual, and it was time for me to set foot on my favorite region, Fontaine. But I'll stop here. I want to share more about the tips that I used, as well as what I've learned so far. So as you saw throughout this entire video, I made a pulling plan tier list. This made me have a better sense of direction on where I wanted to take this account. You can also see that I have some really strong characters in my might not pull and will not pull tier. But that's because I wanted to try other playstyles. I mean, what's the point of making a new account if I'm just gonna pull for the characters I already had? I genuinely enjoyed making this, and maybe it could help you as well. Another tip that I followed was to focus on building characters' levels and talents over artifacts, rather than getting shit on
Tuk tuk.
by RNG really early in the game and making me want to quit this account. I spent my resin on guaranteed upgrades. Well, I did farm for Nihida and got this pretty cracked piece. With that being said, who should I farm for next? Who should I dump my fragile resin on? Kaching or Raiden? Let me know in the comments below. Lastly, enjoy the game. I'm just kidding. While that's not a bad advice, it is very subjective. What you may like may not be what I like. So my actual last advice would be to level up your characters to at least the first phase. So here we go. Yeah, there we go. This will give you a standard wish that you can use to get more characters and weapons. Who knows? You might get someone or something you really want. Yes, you will need to use up your EXP materials. So only do this after you've finished building up your main team. Alright, so doing this challenge proved me wrong in a number of things. One of them is knowing that some 3-star weapons are actually viable. They're also very accessible to R5. Of course, this would make it a little more difficult to clear content, but if you clear it, you clear it. It's also more rewarding that way. Another is that luck plays an even bigger role on the outcome of your account. When you're a spender, you could easily swipe till you get the character. Everything just feels more special when money isn't involved. Wow. Well, that's something to take note of in real life. Also, please be responsible with your money. I know I said I was a dolphin, but I mainly bought the monthly and battle passes. I only spent more every few patches or so. Also, this game isn't actually that long. It took me about 2 months to get to Natlan, but you probably could get there even sooner. Alright, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below if you want to see a part 2 from Fontaine to Natlan. As always, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Follow me on Twitch. I'll be playing other games like HSR, ZZZ, and Wuwa. Alright, bye!